Hello and welcome to Stumped Down the Leg Side, the cricket discussion show on Biz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm your host, Shaka Wilson. Welcome to the program. Cricket is one of the biggest sports in the world, with over 500 years of history across over 40 countries. For as long as the sport has been played, there has been writing on it. Cricket writing is in newspapers, books, pamphlets, and the internet. Not all cricket writing is the same. Some is better than others. What attributes does cricket writing need for it to be labelled as good, bad, or ugly? In 1934, people would need to read newspaper sports bulletins to know what happened overnight in the matches between England and Australia on the other side of the world. The bulletins would have gone a little something like this. Ponsford, 205 not out, and Bradman, 244, made 451 for the second wicket. Swanston. Those bulletins provided the vital information on what happened in the game, which batsman made runs, which bowler took wickets, etc. A cricket follower would have to read the newspaper in order to learn of what happened in the match. There was no other way, because there was no other source of that information. But now, with advancements in technology, the sports bulletin in newspapers has become obsolete and inferior. Now, cricket followers can follow the game live, either through the internet, television or radio, and therefore don't need to be told what they already know. The vital information can be found out live, or only somewhat delayed, not waiting until the next day. Sports bulletins are made even further needless with the newspapers printing a scorecard in their paper. Scorecards are a short statistical summary of the match. Reading it is uncomplicated and time efficient. Cricket readers will not want to read a long, boring bulletin report when they can attain the same information via a scorecard within seconds. Strangely, cricket writing has not evolved to suit the technological advancements. Bulletins still get published in newspapers, even though they provide no information that the reader wouldn't already have at the time. Even stranger, David Frith published a book, Battle of the Ashes, in which the entire book was written in the bulletin style. Quote, Lee takes 4 through mid-on off Giles, and the requirement shrinks to 42. A single, then Kasparovich lofts and edges 4s. 13 off the over, 29 added, in a crazy quarter of an hour. Suddenly it's only 33 to win. Frith. What makes the book almost ridiculous is that at the end of each chapter, Frith includes that match's scorecard, which makes reading the entire chapter pointless. Look at the back page and you'll already learn what Lee and Kasparovich make in the end, and how the match turns out. This writing can be labelled as bad. There's nothing wrong with the writing as far as writing goes. It may even be good writing, depending on who and how. But its style has little use in modern society. It doesn't enhance the cricket follower's experience, but it doesn't damage it either. Good cricket writing can be through a clever idea, an unorthodox opinion, colourful use of language, and having a balanced discussion. With the added technology, all cricket followers will be able to watch the match. It's up to the cricket writer to enhance the experience of being a cricket follower. With the minimum standard raised higher, the quality of the writer must also rise. Quote, history might well repeat itself, but it's not always the same people who who do the repeating. Hey, cricket writers will often use historical repercussions to help their argument. It's a way of showing the romance of cricket, that history is fluid and continuous, not static. An example of this is Gideon Hay's book A Fair Field and No Favour on the 2005 Ashes. Hay showed the similarities between how the world reacted to brand new bowling revolutions, reverse swing in 2005 and the googly in 1902. He documented all the similarities that the two contained, including player reactions, media responses, cricket authority behaviour, rule changes, etc. Statistical essays use cricket statistics as evidence to suggest an argument. For example, cricket writers argued that former Australian spinner Shane Warne, at the time aged 22, was going to be successful when he became the first leg spinner to get 5 wickets in an innings at the MCG in over 50 years. The same arguments have been made over England spinner Monty Panesar when he became, quote, the first spinner to take 6 wickets in a first innings of an opposition's batting at Lords since Bisham Bedi took 6 for 226 in 1974, Rajesh and Gopalak Krishna. An example of colourful language is in Cricinfo's description on Jacques Kallis. Instead of writing something mundane and simple, Jacques Kallis scores his runs slowly, but he scores lots of them. Cricinfo chose a more colourful description. In an era of fast scoring and high-octane entertainment, Jacques Kallis is a throwback, an astonishingly effective one, to a more sedate age, when your wicket was to be guarded with your life, and runs were an accidental byproduct of crease occupation. Various authors. From a literary point of view, that was a beautifully constructed sentence, almost poetic in its cricket romanticism. The lesser quality of cricket writer will resort to unimaginative writing, such as the earlier Kallis description, or will fall into dreaded cliches. How many people have used the expression hit for 6 to describe something being horribly beaten, even though the term hit for 6 in the context of cricket is a hideous choice of words and factually poor. Gideon Hay, in his book, also uses colourful language. Instead of writing, Geraint Jones is an awful wicketkeeper, he wrote, quote, mind you, a Geraint Jones stumping victim these days would wonder what they'd done wrong in a previous life, end quote. Hay. Not only is it polemically unorthodox and unique, but it is also a clever joke. Bland criticisms, like the earlier one, are too straightforward to be insulting. The latter, Hay's, is stinging. As with other forms of writing, cricket writing needs time, hard work, and good research to find facts about the issues at hand. In his biography of Jack Iverson, Gideon Hay had over 150 references in his bibliography to understand and write about Iverson. A very unusual man with a strange life, Hay had to put some hard work into his writing, research, learning the truth, having facts to back up your arguments is all crucial to being a good cricket writer. In his book celebrating the bicentenary of the MCC, Marylebone Cricket Club, the most famous cricket club in history, E.W. Swanston had to research through newspaper articles that were 70 or more years old. To write his book, his compilation and historical reference guide, he needed to have the evidence of old records to support his historical cricket writing. All of these examples qualify as good writing because they all make cricket following more attractive, fun, and pleasurable, as well as making cricket writing more enjoyable to read. Cricket writing, though, can at times be of a very low standard. All writing can be of a low standard and be very poor, of course, but then there's poor cricket writing, because its immediate job is to enhance the cricket following, means that its central function isn't being fulfilled, let alone the writing itself, which makes it twice as bad. Bad cricket writing can be done by showing a biased opinion without logic or proof, having boring or uninteresting language, an opinion without discussion of why and how, or simply abusing the alternative explanations. An example of low standard book is Ian Chappell's Inside Edge. In his book, Chappell presents strong opinions on many issues. If Test cricket dies, the establishment will be guilty of murder, Chappell. But what he fails to do is to present proper discussion to explain his opinion, such as presenting evidence, arguments, etc. This can easily make the reader confused about the issue because they don't know why there is a problem. They could be intimidated by the demagoguery or angered by Chappell's elitism. In one chapter, discussing the 1992 World Cup, hosted by Australia, Chappell says that Imran Khan was correct in saying that this World Cup was the worst organised of the 5 so far. Throughout the chapter and the book, Chappell never explains why he feels that way. All that he does is continually abuse a cricket rule that was in place during the World Cup. A rule that is to be concerned with the actual aesthetics and organisation of the sport, not the competition or organisation of it. An example of boring and uninteresting language is in Merv Hughes and Ian Cover's book, Merv and Me. The book was meant to be a memoir for those two on their 1993 Ashes tour of England, detailing what they did, what their experiences were like, etc. In the book, Merv describes a day at Wimbledon. Sleep in, get up about 10:30 and pack bags. Bus leaves for Wimbledon at midday. Get there about 1 o'clock and sit in the players' lounge for a while watching Jennifer Capriati game. Hughes and Cover. Not only is the writing boring in the style of writing, i.e. just describing the facts without context or adjectives or adequate detail, but there's insignificant description about tennis, which is unnecessary when the book is a cricket tour diary. Merv Hughes was in a privileged position by being a player of a professional international touring team, yet he described totally unimportant things and did it in an uninteresting way. All of these are examples of ugly cricket writing. They do not enhance the experience of the cricket follower, but they even make it worse. If a person read too much of this kind of stuff, they could very well be so repulsed that they turn away from cricket. Cricket writing can vary considerably to whether it's good, bad, or ugly. There are attributes available to measure whether a piece of cricket writing is worth reading. As with cricket itself, writing itself, cricket writing will no doubt evolve and change with time. And that's the end of the program. You've been listening to Stump Down the Leg Side, the cricket discussion show on Biz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm Chucka Wilson. Until next time, keep practicing, keep your eye on the ball, and remember to turn your wrists.